Hello, my name is Hemingway Jones and welcome to the channel. So I have been an avid journaler for decades, and in that time I've used journaling to transform my life from some very dark and unhappy places to a much more balanced and productive lifestyle that I'm living now. So how did I do that? Well, there's basically 3 steps of journaling that transform you, that transcend your life and help you to be the person that you want to be, much more balanced, much happier, and much more productive. So join me today, won't you, as I guide you through these 3 important steps of journaling. So when I say transform my life, I really mean that I can make a bold statement now that I am happy. And that is a rare thing for me. Now, happiness for me is a mix of feeling safe, feeling secure, and feeling productive. I feel like I'm giving back to my family, to my work life, to my community. And I just feel very integrated and very integral to many people's lives, and it's a very nice feeling for me. But it wasn't something I arrived at overnight. I was a very isolated person, and it took a very long time to get from that point to being more open and loving like I am now. So I am happy, and I think that's important, but there is more for me to do. So journaling is an ongoing process. And this process is essentially 3 steps, and there really is no step that's better than the other. It's just more of a foundation that you build so that you can progress through and get deeper understandings of who you are as a person and why you do the things you do. Now, I also think it's very important to say that if you're struggling right now and you have really serious issues, then please speak to someone professionally. There is no substitute to what professional advice and guidance can do for you, but journaling is a fantastic tool that you can use for yourself to really uncover some of your issues and some of who you are deep inside in that sanctity of the journaling space. So let's begin building our journaling foundation. So the first thing you're going to do is consider your journal like a lockbox. It's like a depository for all of those things that are disturbing you, or all the things that you're thinking about, good, bad, indifferent. You bind them to the page in ribbons of ink, and then you keep them there. It's a way of letting them go in a very safe environment where you don't have to worry about feeling self-conscious as you would if you were speaking to a friend. They may pass judgment, but the blank page does not pass judgment. The blank page is there for you to fill, and you're fulfilling the purpose of that page. And as you do, and you read back on what you've written, you will see a trend of confession. A journal's like a confessional. And you will be writing things that give hints to your anxieties, to your fears, to your struggles. And within that, you'll find threads that you can start to think about and pull and unravel those things that bind you. And as you commit these ideas to the page, it's a way of letting go, of writing it down, of getting it out of yourself where you might be holding it, where you may build walls and anger around it. And instead, you're putting it into that treasure chest, that lockbox that is your journal. You're keeping it there, and then you can let it go. And as you go back and you revisit these things, over time, you will see that many of your worst anxieties, the things that you wrote down that you were so terrified of, the effect that you thought would happen from your cause never came to be. So as you go back and you look and you read over those big events that threw you off your center point, that threw you off your balance, were not as scary as they needed to be. That perhaps we put so much fear into these ideas, into these apprehensions of what may happen, that we were blinded to the fact that often the bad things just don't come to pass. So as you go back and you read over and you see that it really wasn't so bad, and here we all are together, safe, you start to get a more commanding idea of your life, that maybe where you're putting your focus is not where you should. You can also see the kind of decision you made. How did it work out? Where did it get you? Were your decisions sound decisions that they led you to your next step? And if they weren't, you have an opportunity to go back and to perform an analysis and perhaps make a different or better decision next time. This is a profoundly powerful tool. You don't often get data on what you've done, on why you've made decisions, but a journal will do that for you. So you can go back and audit what you've done, why you did it, and perhaps do better next time. So the first step of journaling is really to treat it like a way of gathering all your decision-making data, all your ideas, all your fears about the future, the things you're letting go of, so that you can relax a bit more, that you can take command over your life, have a sense of gravitas and control, and be more productive and less reactive based on fear and apprehension. And it's writing in your journal that gets you there. Your next step of journaling is to write down lists. This is a fun and interesting step of journaling. This is the aspirational part of your journal, where you'll write down lists about where you see yourself, where you want to be. Think of Epictetus. Think first who you would be, then do what you must do. Well, the first step is to think first who you would be. And in writing different lists that pertain to different parts of your life, your hobbies, your family, your finances, your job, getting to a step that's very far away may seem very, very difficult. But if you want to get there, imagining it is the first step in plotting points to get there. So in this step, you're imagining points in your life, in your relationships, in your work life, where you are seeing yourself where you'd like to be. And it's a way of progressing beyond the purely emotional aspect of the first part of journaling, where you're simply putting down all of your fears and your decision-making processes. In this step, you're literally looking ahead to what type of person you'd like to be, and you're adapting your emotions to suit that person. And what I mean by that is, if you've been a fearful or angry person, you might learn that that no longer suits your situation. That to be a person more in command, to accomplish these goals, you need to be calmer, you need to be more methodical, you need the help of people around you. And it makes you a bit more open and more engaged with what is going on. It really opens you up. So it takes you from more of a person-centered focus and writing down the streams in your mind to a much more goal-oriented person, where you want to accomplish things for your life and for your family. Even if it's something like just being a better person, a better father, a better friend. It doesn't have to be materialistic goals. In fact, those are probably the easiest to accomplish in regards to you can work more, you can think of ideas, you can make yourself all about materialism, and materialism can matter manifest itself. But what's difficult is to master yourself as a person, to make your personality suit who you want to be, to make yourself more loving and strong and critically minded. These things are difficult. So with these aspirations, you just need to write them down, get them down on paper, no matter how bold or aspirational they seem to be. Even if they're a little crazy, you'd be surprised where you can get to in life. And it all starts with imagining it. You imagine it, you can manifest it. And you can get to those points by building little steps in between and doing basic things in your life, the basics. You know, staying calm, making good decisions, don't spend too much money on silly things, look out for your family, make great choices for them, and you will get to where you want to be. Over time. Time is the one element here. This is something that takes time. So think about something like if you want to feel more secure in your retirement, you want to create a diverse income stream. You have a certain job now, you may want to invest in different sources of assets that are going to pay you over time, whether it's stocks or real estate. Well, that's not going to happen overnight. These are habits that take a long time that you can do if you plan. The funny thing about planning is that we plan for a future that we feel will never come, and then one day we find ourselves in that future and we only wish we had planned for it. So this is truly the aspirational part of journaling, where you imagine where you want to be and you start to let go of some of the things that have been holding you back, like anger and fear. It really doesn't help when you're trying to be a better person. Now we find ourselves at the third level of journaling, and this is the transcendent stage. This is where you transcend everything else. And how do you do that? Well, in the beginning, you were writing down everything that you were thinking, fears, anxieties, strategies, but it was very much you focused. In the second stage, it was much more aspirational, where you were planning on who you wanted to be and how you would get there. Now at the third stage, you see that everything is interconnected. Since everything is interconnected, even the trauma, even the terrible things you've done, the times you've lost your temper, whatever it is in your life has led you to this point is integral, is important as anything else. So now it's time to transcend it. If you've made your amends, make amends, and now transcend it. This is the period where you see that you are a whole person, that it's your internal and external feeding each other in an endless loop. So let go of some of those previous anxieties and pain and everything else, and start to think of yourself as a whole person that is really good enough. We'll never be perfect in anything we do, but we are good enough. See, so many of us are trying to push our traumas away, and I think you need to accept them and control them, but you can't let go of it completely. It is an integral part of who you are, especially if it's your childhood. It's the foundation of your personality, of your personhood. How can you just extricate that from who you are as a person? You simply can't, but you need to accept it, especially your feelings about it, and be okay with it and move on. And I think acceptance is a big part of letting go. In accepting these things, I think you see that they're important, but they're not the most important. What is now. The things you're doing now with your family and friends, and they require a full person that's engaged with them. So it's time to let go of some of the things that are holding you back, really transcend it, engage, be that loving, hopeful person that can be a leader for other people and guide them to a better place. And remember, you'll make progress, you'll fall behind, you'll come back, but you'll be bolstered by this sense of rising confidence that you made it through life life and you will make it through the rest and be even better. There's an optimism that carries you along. Because remember, you've made it through so many crises and emergencies and you're still standing tall and doing better. I think once you learn that you will persevere, this gives you that gravitas that I mentioned before, that control over your life, that calm comportment, that reliability, that sense of wisdom, that you've seen things and now that which is coming is not so much of a surprise and you will endure it. It is that calm that helps you to remain focused and critically minded so that you can make judgments that are not affected by your fears and your more base instincts. This is fully embracing this transcendent stage of journaling. You'll be able to ratchet it down. You will be in command and other people will see that, recognize it, and it is the true characteristic of a leader and a good person. Once they see that, they will see that you are someone in whom they can place their trust. And this will help you in all sorts of ways, in your career, in your family, in your community. It is a superpower. It can transform your life, truly. Just simply staying calm and making good choices. So if you have these basic character strengths now in your personality, you can face anything and rise above it and be that person you've always wanted to be. So, what do you think of these 3 stages of journaling? Do you feel like this is something that can help you? It's certainly helped me. It's been a long process, but I'm growing more and more happy with the person I am and the person I'm becoming. And that's really all I can ask for. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it benefited you in some way. And if it did, please subscribe. I'd love to have you on this journey with me. From the fountain pen, I go everywhere through journaling, inks, all sorts of fun and interesting places. So come along. And if you want to help the channel even more, consider membership. We have a membership plan available, and for Illuminati and Cognoscenti members, we have a pen pal group, so that's a lot of fun. So I make new videos all the time, and I have a live show as well. So I can promise you, we will see each other again very soon, further up the road. So please, be good to yourself.